From stories across the globe to stories here at home.
This is the National News Broadcast.
A very good evening to you. I'm Sharifa Tahir.
And I am Thilina Udayaratna. First up, a look into tonight's top stories.
The President makes a sudden visit to the National Hospital in Colombo. Fertilizer for paddy cultivation will be provided free of charge from the Yala season. A program to extend loan schemes for small and medium-scaled entrepreneurs initiated from today. 2,000 youth from the northern province to be recruited into the police service. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle decides to step back from senior royalty.
We move on to those and other stories in detail now. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa made a sudden observational visit to the National Hospital in Colombo today. The President visited the OPD building complex of the National Hospital and inquired regarding the activities of the OPD while engaging in cordial discussions with the patients. The President also asked patients regarding their villages, where they came from, and inquired about the reasons for travelling such long distances. The patients apprised the President regarding the prevailing issues in the hospitals located out of Colombo. During the visit, the President discussed the issues of the National Hospital with the doctors and the staff of the hospital.
The government says that fertilizer for paddy cultivation will be provided free of charge from the Yala season. Addressing the media briefing held to announce the cabinet decisions, co-cabinet spokesman Minister Bandula Gunawardena said that the fertilizers will be provided for a maximum of 2 hectares. Co-cabinet spokesman Minister Bandula Gunawardena said that fertilizer for paddy cultivation will be provided free of charge from the Yala season. Around 6 to 9 billion rupees have been paid for the fertilizer importers in the past. Therefore, the government has paid 3 billion rupees to the importers, providing them the capacity to bring down fertilizer to the country. Accordingly, the Fertilizer Secretariat has reported that no shortage of necessary fertilizer for paddy cultivation will occur in the future. He added that fertilizer for other crops will be brought down to the country in the near future as well. 14,022 housing units will be constructed for selected poverty-ridden families under the A House to the Village, A Future to the Country housing program. Co-cabinet spokesman Minister Bandula Gunawardena said that as a government which directs special attention towards poverty-ridden families, 600,000 rupees worth financial donations will be made to them to build a house, and 14,022 housing units will be constructed covering each Grama Seva zone in accordance to a proposal tabled by the Prime Minister. He added that as per the cabinet paper, other millionaires can also contribute to this project. The cabinet approval was granted to establish a multi-purpose development task force to provide job opportunities for 100,000 low-income earning youth. Minister Bandula Gunawardena said that the youth who have passed the 8th grade in school willing to provide their labour and belonging to low-income families will be selected for this program. The program aims to utilize the development task forces in various development and welfare projects in their respective areas. He added that the project has been designed to provide wages worth 30,000 rupees and an allowance for each task forcer. The Food Production National Program will be continued till 2022 with the aim to promote environmentally friendly agriculture. Agri-product cluster villages will be established. Minister Bandula Gunawardena said that President Gotabaya Rajapaksa's government has changed the policy to import all products which have not been given a fair price rate for the domestic producers and not produced locally. He said that this initiative has allowed small agri-crop producers to receive higher revenue from their productions. The Living Cost Committee will mediate to bring the prices down by increasing production and supply. The minister said that many small-scale projects have also been initiated by the government. Minister Bandula Gunawardena said that the proposals to initiate small and large-scale projects for grassroots level development have been circulated among divisional secretariat levels. 20 million rupees will be provided for each Grama Seva zone in this regard. The cabinet approval was granted to purchase 500 new buses, spending $15.03 million. Co-cabinet spokesman Minister Ramesh Patirana said that the president requested to introduce buses with easy access. Accordingly, he said that 500 buses will be deployed to urbanized areas in the country. The cabinet approval was also granted for the project to develop the severely eroded Angulana coastal belt. The cabinet also granted approval for the signing of a memorandum of understanding between the General Sir John Kotalawala Defence University and the Indonesian Defence University.
In the meantime, the president says that the nation needed the leadership to guide the country into the right path and not the individual Gotabaya Rajapaksa. The president made these remarks while addressing the Youth Congress of Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna held at the Temple Trees. The Congress was held under the patronage of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa and Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. The President said that the government will carry out the possible maximum to understand the aspirations and needs of the youth as well as the people. The President stressed that aim of the government is to endeavour the youth to take up employments when they reach the age of 20. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa said that he was a person elected to maintain the governance of the people within a democratic system. He was fully committed to fulfill his promises while understanding the needs of the people. He added that each country in the Asian region is in the progress to achieve a high economic growth. He added that the economic growth in the country should push the country ahead in the Asian region, and the youth is the most necessary entity required for this task. The President said that the youth of the country should be transformed, educated and trained to suit the economy to provide better living standards for them, and the government is committed to achieve this objective. He said that all should commit to achieve this objective. He said that the Education Minister informed him that around 2,000 students eligible for university education refrained from entering into universities due to ragging. He said that the time had come to rectify the ill effects caused by ragging in universities.
ඉදිරියට ගෙනියන්නට පුළුවන් වෙන රැකියාවක් කරන්නට හැකි නිපුණත්වයක් තරුණ තරුණියන්ට ලබා දීම අපේ ආරමුණ. මේ සඳහා අපි සියලු දෙනා මේකට වැඩ කරොත් ඒ ආරමුණ කරා අපිට යන්නට පුළුවන්. අපි මේ තරුණ තරුණයන්ගෙන් ඉල්ලන්නේ තමන්ගේ කාලේ නාස්ති කරන්නට එපා. විවිධ ඒ බොරු මතගෙන ගෙනියන අය කෙරෙහි රැවටෙන්නට එපා. ඊයේ අධ්‍යාපන ඇමතුමා කිව්වා උසස් පෙළ සමත් වෙන විශ්වවිද්‍යාලවලට තේරුණු 2000 තරුණ තරුණයන් අපේ විශ්වවිද්‍යාලවලට ඇතුළත් වෙන්නේ නවකවාදයේ හින්දා. මේ වගේ තත්ත්වයන් අපිට ඉඩ දෙන්නට පුළුවන් කමක් නැහැ. උසස් තත්ත්වයේ තියෙන අද රටවල් දිහා බැලුවම අවුරුදු 20 වෙනකොට උපාධියක් ලබලා රැකියාවකට සූදානම් වෙනවා. අපි කොපමණ කාලයක් නාස්ති කරනවද බලන්න. උසස් පෙළ සමත් වෙලා සමහර වෙලාවට අවුරුදු දෙකක් විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයට ඇතුල් වෙන්නේ නැතොයි. දැන්වත් අපි මේ ක්‍රමවේදය වෙනස් කරන්නට හිතා ගන්නට ඕන. මේ එක එක අයට දඩමීවා වෙන්නේ නැතුව. අපි තරුණ තරුණයන් වෙනුවෙන් ඉදිරි පරම්පරාව වෙනුවෙන් ඉදිරි ගමන යන්නට අපි ළඟ හොඳ සලස්මක් තිබෙනවා. අපි ඒකට කැප වෙලා ඉන්නවා. තමුන්නාන්සලාගේ සහයෝගය ඒ වෙනුවෙන් ලබා දෙන්න.
Addressing the gathering, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa said that the youth had shown their eagerness to make a positive impact in the country through recent initiatives undertaken by them. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa said that the youth expected a significant change in the country after the 2015 presidential election. He said that the aspirations of the youth were crushed and they were left to live an underwhelming lifestyle. He said that the youth at the Congress are the ones who created the difference in the previous election. He said that the youth had shown their eagerness to make a positive change in the country through recent initiatives launched by them. He also added that the youth can revive the country with their might and intelligence and commended the leadership taken by them to overcome the challenges. He added that the law enforcement agencies in the country are influenced with the interferences of the politicians in the past times and no action is taken against politicians who committed various crimes. He added that the legislation in the country was not even able to remove the IGP from his post. He said that they have been entrusted with the challenge to rectify these ill effects and bring back justice and democracy in the country. He said that they need the support of the youth on this regard. The Congress was held with the participation of youth representing 160 electorates in the country. Several ministers and parliamentarians were also present on this occasion.
The government program to extend loan schemes for small and medium-scale entrepreneurs has been initiated from today. State Minister Shehan Semasinghe said that the economic growth in the country is at a higher level as a consequence to this initiative. The approval of the Monetary Board was granted for this program. This was revealed at a media briefing held at the Ministry of Finance today. State Minister Shehan Semasinghe said that a friendly and positive environment for businessmen is in the process of being made in Sri Lanka due to the belief instilled in them with the economic initiatives carried out by the present government. He pointed out that the government's aspiration to create an economy based on agriculture and business community will be achieved. The government aspires to make pathways for the public to enter into entrepreneurship by providing tax relief to encourage monetary circulation among the public without stocking up the revenue of the government with high taxes. The State Minister said that the tax relief provided by the present government has been initiated, ensuring the aspirations of the people. This condition has strongly contributed to uplift the trust among the business community in the country.
State Minister Mahindananda Alathkamage lodged a complaint with the police headquarters today requesting to conduct a prompt investigation over MP Ranjan Ramanayaka's alleged plan to assassinate the State Minister. The complaint made by State Minister has claimed that the alleged assassination plot was revealed in the telephone conversation occurred between former Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe and MP Ramanayaka. Therefore, the State Minister has requested to conduct a swift and proper investigation on this regard. Meanwhile, President of Sinhala National Organisation, Dan Priyasad, has presented a letter to the Speaker of the House, Karujaya Surya. He has requested to abolish the parliamentary seat of MP Ramanayaka with a direct influence over the judicial system of the country and defaming the law of the nation. Meanwhile, Attorney-at-Law Preminath Dolawata has lodged a complaint with the Bar Association requesting to take legal action against the judges involved in controversial telephone conversations with MP Ramanayaka. Meanwhile, the Bar Association presented a complaint to the Judicial Services Commission to conduct a proper investigation on this regard.
State Minister Kehelia Ramukwella has requested the Chief Justice to take necessary steps to change the prevailing situation before the trust placed on law by the nation crumbles. He made these remarks during the media briefing held today to announce the cabinet decisions. State Minister Kehelia Ramukwella said that the prevailing situation should not be interpreted as political revenge on former ministers. Certain entities are attempting to put the blame solely on MP Ramanayaka and make him the sole defendant in this situation. Not only MP Ramanayaka but the former Prime Minister, other former ministers and judicial officials have also directly been involved in these offences. The individuals involved in bringing good governance and independent commissions in the country have been involved in unlawful acts violating their own virtues. He then requested the Chief Justice to conduct an independent and transparent investigation and take necessary steps to change the prevailing situation before the trust placed on law by the nation crumbles. Well, that's it on this segment of the news. We'll be back with more news right after this break. Well, Chief Executive Officer of the Nepal Tourism Board, Deepak Raj Joshi, says that Sri Lanka and Nepal should jointly promote tourism in Western markets. Sri Lankan tourists can soon visit Lord Buddha's birthplace Lumbini directly once the new international airport is opened in a few months' time. CEO Deepak Raj Joshi made these remarks joining in on an exclusive interview with Dhammika Wickremesinghe of Sri Lanka Rupavahini, who recently visited Nepal.
During my stay in Nepal, I had the opportunity of having Mr. Deepak Raj Joshi, the CEO of Nepal Tourism Board, for an exclusive interview. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Just tell us about your expectations for 2020 in tourism.
2020 we have announced a mega campaign, Visit Nepal 2020. Since so many years, Nepal has a very rigid image as a destination. Most of the people, they know Nepal as a mountainous country where only adventure type of activities are on offer, whereas Nepal is very, very rich in other segments of tourism also. Culture, festival, lifestyle, wildlife, so many things, leisure activities, but people know Nepal as a mountainous country only. So through this campaign, we want to position Nepal as a unique experiential lifetime value destination. Nepal is a very, very important destination for that kind of experiences which really transform visitors' life. The spiritual value is also very, very strong. This is the Lord Buddha was born here, and then so many segments of spirituality is in every corner of country. So we want to position our other aspect of our hidden treasures of Nepal through this campaign.
What are the potential that we can explore between Sri Lanka and Nepal in tourism?
There are many potentials, so many things we are closely related with. Like in Sri Lanka also there are many unique experiences, especially beach related experiences. Even the Buddhism segment is very strong there. So in that segments we can connect, and then in international market also people look for at the same package. Joint packages are also on offer. So Sri Lanka and Nepal can jointly promote the beautiful beaches of Sri Lanka and the mighty Himalayas of Nepal, and together we can promote the special segment of Buddhist circuit also.
We know that a lot of Sri Lankans are interested visiting Lumbini, but they come through India. What are the opportunities that you can create for Sri Lankans to visit Lumbini directly rather than coming through India?
It is simply because of so far the Indian agencies, they have been promoting like that way. So it is a kind of a package sold by most of the Indian agencies. That's why it is a part of that package. But we are trying to promote and educate many visitors that it is always good to start your journey from the birthplace of Buddha itself. And earlier we didn't have a kind of infrastructure also, but now we are going to complete our new airport, Siddhartha Gautama International Airport, that is going to be completed by the end of this April 2020. From then onwards we will have direct connectivity, and the roads are being constructed. Everything will be completed within this 4 to 5 months of time. Then I think easily the many visitors from Sri Lanka, they can directly connect Nepal. I would like to request the Sri Lankan Airlines also to connect directly to Nepal, because we have new airport at the nearby point of Lumbini where Lord Buddha was born. Basically, Nepal is so rich in many segments, and this destination can attract many variety of visitors, be it pilgrimage, be it adventure or leisure or the transformative type of tourism activities or rich experiences, whichever segment of attractions they are looking for. But Nepal's tourism, as you also very rightly mentioned, this is the most diverse country on earth. Most of the countries are horizontal countries, but it's a vertical country, this country is, because our lowest point from sea level is 60 meters and highest is 8848, that is Mount Everest. And this all in between the distance of 150 kilometers around. The diversity that Nepal has is the biggest attraction for many variety of visitors, and these kind of hidden things we are going to promote through this campaign.
Would you like to just visit personally in Sri Lanka and make the connection better?
Very much, very much. Very soon I will be visiting Sri Lanka, especially during that crisis time. I wanted to visit, but I couldn't manage, because we also went through different kind of crisis in last 2 decades. So we wanted to share some of our experiences with our friends of Sri Lanka. But I'm quite happy to note that Sri Lanka is also recovered very fast and very quickly. these kind of exchanges, sharing, and then joint promotion is always effective, because we are a very good country since now, since so many years, and this should go in many years to come also.
What is the final message for viewers who are watching this?
There are many unexplored areas that we need to unleash now, because in Sri Lanka also there are a variety of attractions and activities that tourists can enjoy, and in Nepal also. So our trade, they can jointly promote, package and promote. In South Asia, most of the sites of India, Bhutan, Tibet and Nepal are jointly packaged and jointly sold in Western markets. But the packages between Sri Lanka and Nepal are not jointly made now. So to the government agencies who are involved in tourism and to the private sector, the tourism entrepreneurs, I would like to request, there is immense potential. Well, let's come together and then let's sell our joint packages in the Western world.
Thank you very much for joining with the interview. We wish you all the very best in future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, with that, it's time for a short break. We'll be back with more news here at home. Welcome back to the news, and we take a look at more local stories. 50 days have been completed since Gotabaya Rajapaksa took the presidency of the nation. The aim of the policy statement of the president, Visions of Prosperity and Splendor, sets to establish a respectable governance with the capacity to maintain relations with any other country while ensuring national dignity and sovereignty. The president took several decisions within the past 50 days to achieve this objective. Developing 1,000 schools into national schools and ensuring university education for all who have passed the advanced level examination are several important schemes undertaken by the president. A SWIFT program has also been initiated to provide a vocational training that consists of English language and information technology for the youth not qualified to pursue higher education. The program to create 100,000 job opportunities under the task force campaigns with the aim to uplift the unqualified youth from poverty-ridden families economically will be initiated on the 15th of January. Long-term loans and concessionary interest rates when purchasing houses for the first time, issuance of conformity certificates for houses in a day, and approval of properly prepared housing and small-scale business construction plans within a day are some of the important endeavors laid out by the president. The president has also taken many decisions with the aim to establish an efficient, systematic and productive public service. The president engaged in observational tours in several state institutions which provide essential services for the public with the objective to standardize the proceedings of these institutions. For the first time in history, a special expert committee was appointed to obtain recommendations when appointing heads of state institutions. Reducing the salary of the chairman of Sri Lanka Telecom from 2 million rupees to 250,000 rupees, controlling the importation of kites and lanterns, abolishing the permit system for sand, soil and clay, paving the path for other importers to import wheat flour while collapsing the wheat flour monopoly, and suspending the importation of small export crops including pepper and cinnamon were several important decisions. Limiting the cabinet of the caretaker government to 16 ministers and transforming state media into independent institutions are some of the decisions taken up by the president. Empowering the special task force of the police for conducting raids on illegal narcotics and criminal underground activities, and steps taken to regulate more than 1,000 non-state organizations against the nation are some of the decisions taken within the past 50 days.
We now move on to some court news in brief. The decision to grant approval to direct the mobile phone belonging to Ghanaian barrister Francis, employed at the Swiss Embassy in Sri Lanka, to the government analyst and obtain a report will be declared on January 21st. This order was issued today when the complaint was taken up for hearing before Colombo Magistrate Lanka Jayaratna. The suspect was also ordered to visit and report to the CID on last Sunday of each month. A police inspector and a police constable have been sentenced to 28 years of rigorous imprisonment by the Colombo High Court today after they were found guilty for the charges in connection of accepting a bribe of 10,000 rupees. Apart from the sentence, the defendants were also ordered to pay a penalty of 20,000 rupees each. The verdict of the case filed against former president of Akurasa Pradesh Sabha, Saru Ali, and against Sunil for the alleged sexual abuse of a 14-year-old child will be declared on January 17. Though the verdict was set to be declared today by Colombo High Court Judge Aditya Patabandige, the case was taken up for hearing before Colombo High Court Judge Manjula Tilakaratna, as the judge had participated in another court case. Colombo Permanent High Court at Bar ordered to convene the D.A. Rajapaksa Memorial Museum case on March 10th. The case was filed by the Attorney General alleging that 33.9 million rupees worth state funds were mismanaged during the construction of D.A. Rajapaksa Memorial Museum in Madamulana, Hambantota.
Economists say that there will be a negative economic impact for Sri Lanka in the case of war in the Middle East. They welcome the present situation of de-escalation of tensions between United States and Iran. Crude oil prices rose on Thursday, recouping some of the heavy losses from the previous session as the market has rebalanced after Washington and Tehran looked to defuse a potential Middle East crisis. Prices had soared in response to the killing of an Iranian general in American airstrike last week and Iran's retaliatory attack on U.S. forces in Iraq on Wednesday, before diving more than 4% when the two countries quickly retouched back tensions, hitting a 3-week low. How can this situation affect Sri Lanka is the next question.
Due to the conflict
in light of the
Iran
simmering tensions
and the US can affect Sri Lanka's trade performance. We have a trade deficit, and our trade deficit is as almost equal to our export income, so that it can get worse this year because of the decline in our export income. Particularly, we have been exporting to the Middle East. Large part of our tea we have been exporting it to Iran, and also we have been importing oil, and that is the largest single expenditure item in our import basket. So with the increase in trade deficit, it can influence the management of our exchange rate as well. We have seen the volatile exchange rates in 2018 as well as in 2019, and this situation can get worse if the war situation continues. If the war situation gets worse in the weeks and months to come, actually it can affect the global economy, and then Sri Lanka is part of the global economy. And just like it affects any other country, it affects Sri Lanka too.
If there is a war, it will lead to layoff of Sri Lankan expatriate workers in the Middle East, as happened in the last Gulf War time. That will lead to reduction in foreign remittances in Sri Lanka, in addition to the unemployment problem in the country. And this may be immediate impact, and also our exports and our employment opportunities, and also Sri Lanka's revenue. All these will have a chain impact on our economy, which will be long lasting for a country like Sri Lanka, plagued by financial shortages. At this moment, if this kind of a international shock may be a kind of unbearable economic pressure on the economy, hence it's a good news that so far we have received that there's no kind of a immediate war, but it's uncertain that the returning to peace in the Middle East is very important for us, for our economy.
In light of the simmering tensions and instability in Iran during the last few days, co-government spokesman Kehelia Ramukwella confirmed that the Ministry of External Affairs has reached out to Sri Lankans who are in Iran and will make arrangements for their return to Sri Lanka should the situation worsen. Speaking at a briefing at the Information Department, the minister said that there are fewer than 100 Sri Lankans in Iran. The Ministry of External Affairs will look into their needs. Discussions are ongoing over the situations over there.
In the meantime, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa says that the name of former Prime Minister D.M. Jayaratne will not fade from the memories of the nation. The Prime Minister made these remarks while attending the proposal to express grievances for the demise of late D.M. Jayaratne. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa said that he was in the 70th Parliament with the late former Prime Minister along with Prime Minister Vasudeva Nanayakkara. He said that the late former Prime Minister was rebel and was often called as Gampala Gaddafi. The Prime Minister said that the late Prime Minister worked closely with late former Prime Minister Sirimawa Bandaranaike. He said that the late Prime Minister never demanded for positions and often worked to give positions to those who deserve positions. Therefore, he said that the name of the late Prime Minister will not be faded from the memories of the nation.
He was a good parliamentarian and a decent person. He has been faithful to his party. He represented his constituency to the best of his ability, and he did the job that he liked to do best.
පොදු ජනතාවගේ ආර්ථික සමාජීය දේශපාලන සංස්කෘතික අයිතීන් වෙනුවෙන් ප්‍රතිඵල දක්වාම ඒ සටන ගෙන ගිය ආකාරය අපි හැමෝම අවබෝධ.
Well, here's some more local news in brief. The Physical Science Academic Unit of the Colombo University has said that the first lunar eclipse is set to take place tomorrow. Professor Chandana Jayaratna said that the eclipse will be visible as a shadow eclipse. The lunar eclipse will begin at 10:38 p.m. and conclude at 2:42 a.m. The eclipse will fully be visible at 12:40 midnight. The government, in the meantime, has taken steps to recruit 2,000 police officers from the northern province this year. Accordingly, the President has instructed the police department to recruit 200 sub-inspectors, 1,400 constables and 400 women constables. Well, that's it on local news. We'll be back with news overseas.
And welcome back. We move on to news overseas now. The royal family are hurt at the Duke and Duchesses of Sussex announcement they will step back as senior royals. Prince Harry and Meghan did not consult any royal about making their personal statement. BBC royal correspondent Johnny Diamond was told by palace sources Buckingham Palace was blindsided. He said as talks about their future had begun but were in very early stages. The palace said there were complicated issues to work through.
Britain's Prince Harry and his wife Meghan say they're stepping back from their royal roles and will split their time between the UK and North America. It came as a shock for the royal family, a royal source saying they're hurt and disappointed. The couple announced their intentions on social media late Wednesday, taking Queen Elizabeth and Harry's father Prince Charles, who weren't consulted, by surprise. Buckingham Palace's consternation came across in a rare outspoken statement. The family understood their desire to take a different approach, it said, but these are complicated issues that will take time to work through. Harry and Meghan were fated as symbols of a more modern monarchy when they married in May 2018. Meghan is a former actress with an African-American mother. They had a baby, Archie, last year. Now the couple say they want to work to become financially independent and set up a new charity. But they will retain some royal duties. How does that work? Well, no one knows because this bombshell is without precedent. Royal biographers say it amounts to their becoming half royal. And everyone's asking who pays for their transatlantic lifestyles and the huge security setup they'll need on both sides of the Atlantic. The couple's lifestyles have already received negative publicity, especially the use of private jets while promoting environmental causes. And then there was the costly refurb, about $3 million, of their new home at the taxpayers' expense. The British media has given Meghan a rough ride, which Harry describes as bullying, drawing parallels with the experience of his mother, Princess Diana, who was killed in a car crash in 1997 as her car sped away from the paparazzi. These are grim times for the family sometimes known as the Firm, after the Queen's son, Prince Andrew, was removed from public duties over his association with high-profile child sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex, to use their titles, cast the coming break as an exciting new step. But if Thursday's reaction was anything to go by, their hopes of curbing the intense scrutiny they're under may be frustrated.
Well, in the meantime, the US says it is ready to engage without preconditions in serious negotiations with Iran following the country's exchange of hostility. In a letter to the UN, the US justified the killing of Iranian General Qasem Soleimani as an act of self-defense. Iran has retaliated by firing missiles at air bases housing US forces in Iraq, causing no casualties. It has also told the UN it was an act of self-defense. General Soleimani was widely held as being Iran's second most senior official. As head of the Revolutionary Guard's elite Quds force, he was an architect of Iranian police and in the region. Iran's Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei described the missile attacks as a slap in the face for the US and called for an end to the American presence in the Middle East. The US strike on Soleimani also killed members of Iran-backed Iraqi militias who have also vowed revenge. However, US Vice President Mike Pence told CBS News that intelligence indicated that Iran had asked its allied militias not to attack US targets. The US House of Representatives has scheduled a vote for Thursday on limiting President Donald Trump's ability to wage war against Iran without specific approval from the Congress.
And we now move on to sports news. Sri Lanka under-19 team left the country to take part in the under-19 Cricket World Cup today. The championship is taking place in South Africa. The under-19 cricketers engaged in religious observances at the Sri Lanka cricket premises. Nipunadanandra is the captain of the team. The team will compete in Group A and they will face India, New Zealand and Japan. Sri Lanka's first match will be played against India on the 19th of January. The cricketers' home, established at R. Premadasa Stadium, was declared open today. The opening ceremony was held under the patronage of former Sri Lanka cricket captain Kumar Sangakkara. This establishment was built as another facility of the National High Performance Centre. The establishment can house around 44 players at once.
Well, that's all we've got for you this evening from the National News broadcast. Join us once again tomorrow for the very latest. Until then, thanks for watching. Good night.